Technology has advanced more in the last 30 years than in the previous 2,000. Niels Bohr, 1941. Many game-altering inventions were created between World War I and World War II. A broad category to look at is sea technology. The most significant invention introduced during World War II for sea technology is the battlecruiser. The battlecruiser was new and introduced in the early 1940s and was a capital warship that posed the firepower of a battleship with multiple batteries totaling 8 or more 12-inch guns. And with such advancements, stability, and overall amazing dynamic structure, it accomplished numerous missions and was easily able to take on 2 or 3 battleships at a time. Battleships also evolved a lot. The battleship, though still important, gave way to 2 vessels, the submarine and the aircraft carrier. These pieces of technology advanced sea technology as we know it. Although not the most powerful, the battleship was something not to be messed with, as it was still able to carry out many diverse missions. As these battleships were not the strongest warships, strategies such as wolf packs were introduced. The fighting power of battleships would be unbeatable if the boats traveled in clusters. These so-called wolf packs, usually 5 or 6 U-boats working together to destroy the same convoy, began traveling together in the summer of 1940 and provided highly effective winds. Now on to a more strategical development, air technology. Air technology did not receive many inventions, but it did receive innovations, and many tactics and strategies were made. An example of a tactic introduced is an air raid. An air raid is any attack on ground targets by aircrafts, but especially if conducted by bombs against an urban target. Air raids were new and conducted for more efficiency. Furthermore, airdropping supplies was introduced in World War II, and basically was the idea of dropping military or humanitarian relief supplies by parachute, and was mainly used to drop supplies to East Berlin, as they had been under communist rule and had to ration their food out that they received. Here are a few pictures and examples of how it all looked like. The next area of obvious growth was tanks. Tanks grew much more in size, durability, efficiency, and actually looked like it could demolish something, as it had 21 years to do so. Although the shape and basic structure didn't change much, the durability and effectiveness went up. An example is the Soviet JS-3 heavy tanks or German Panther medium tanks, another armored and powerful weapon created by the Germans. Germany created many new weapons as they had lost World War I and really wanted and needed to win this war. Trust me, they were out here looking for revenge all summer of 1940s. As time passed on, the technology used to make bombs advanced as well. Bombs in general became a very important weapon in early World War II. However, at the start of the war, vast majority of bombs fell miles from their intended targets as poor navigation technology ensured that countries couldn't find their targets late at night. To the end of the war, they were accurate around 90% of the time. Probably the most enhanced weapon was the bomb, because of one main thing, the atomic bomb. The atomic bomb was a very big deal because it changed the outcome of the war and history. It was perhaps the most profound military development of the war and had a great impact on the scientific community, but it also had an impact on all communities. On August 6, 1945, an American B-29 bomber named Enola Gay left the island of Tinian for Hiroshima, Japan. This section recounts for the first atomic bomb. This bomb was dropped in 2 different Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. With such an impact, it is easy to see why the Japanese surrendered just days after the bombs dropped. Additionally, many new hand weapons and guns were both changed and newly made for accuracy and power. However, no massive change occurred in this category. Soldiers were given lightweight weapons like the U.S. bazooka. Some guns and hand weapons were introduced in World War II, including the ZK-383. The ZK-383 is a submachine gun and was developed in Czechoslovakia. It was produced at a slow rate from 1938 and onwards, and had an easy lock-release mechanism for the time and was fitted quickly with detachable barrels. Many other guns were created, including the first assault gun made by Germany. New production of methods for weapons such as stamping, riveting, and welding came into being to produce the number of arms needed. The strategies and tactics for war changed throughout time as well. Here are a few pictures of how a few of the guns looked like. This is the ZK-383. These were the most significant categories of development in terms of technology used in World War II and advancements. There were the evolution of air and sea technology, tanks, bombs, and hand weapons and guns. Thank you for watching, and yeah.